Hey guys, Kevin here. It's been a while since I've done a video, and this is gonna be like a devlog for Baby Tooth and everything. But if you want to skip ahead to hear the updates about my new RPG Baby Tooth, skip ahead using the video description or whatever. And if not, I'll go through a little personal update fast. I have a new setup which allows me to record my voice a little easier because before I used to be set up in a common area and I felt like I was disturbed whenever I would talk. So that's why I would do my live streams like when nobody was around. I would be all alone, knowing I'll be able to talk. But now I'm set up in my own very own office, so now I feel I can talk and do these devlogs a little easier instead of feeling like I'm disturbing. Baby Tooth is a dream RPG that I've been working on since October 2025, but this game's been in the back of my mind since 2017. This is the game that Freak Show spawned from. I've always loved RPGs and wanted to make my own, and like you can see that in Soul to Keep back in 2016. That's when I started adding RPG elements, but it felt a little half-baked with the limited options of fighting or healing. A little bit after Soul to Keep, I started feeling a little bit more comfortable making RPGs, or I felt like I was capable of doing it. So I started working on a game called Wisdom Tooth, which later became Darkness Scares Me. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but I remember scrapping it and reusing some elements of Darkness Scares Me in Freak Show. And after Freak Show took off more than I expected it would, and I fast tracked a sequel, and I'll get back on that sequel because it taught me a very valuable lesson for the future. Now we're moving ahead to 2020. I tried to remake Darkness Scares Me and got a little bit further, but again, it never got that far before getting scrapped. This was because of Freak Show 2. I got ambitious with it and it failed due to scope creep, It became too big for me and it was on Steam, and I felt embarrassed because it was a scrap project. It felt like it needed more love. So I scrapped that and remade the anniversary edition that's on Steam now. And I don't know what happened exactly, but it must have burnt me out because I stopped working on games after this. So around 2020, 2021, I stopped working on games until 2025. I got back to game development. I was working on smaller games like the Midnight Man remake, and I did late night TV, and those projects are a lot smaller than the back in my Freak Show days. But yet, despite all those years of hibernation and being gone, Darkness Scares Me never left my mind, and I knew when I was going to restart work on bigger projects, this is something I want to do. It's been a dream project that I've been working on, and I figured if I do this, I have to sit down, write a gameplay script, and promise myself to follow it and not let it balloon like Freak Show 2 did. So I'm making the art in-house. I am following my gameplay guide to a T, or giving myself a little bit of loose to work on it. But I want to make sure this is the best project I've worked on in years or ever, In October of 2025, that's when I was like, I'm going to do this. So I started working on the battle system because in every other iteration that I made, I've always started with the overworld. So this time I did it the other way around. Started with the battle system, and I worked on it from October to January, and then that's when I showed it off on YouTube at the end of January. And now I've been slowly working on the overworld, and I figured I would take you guys on this journey with me and we can go through this together. So this video was just to catch you guys up to speed on where I've been, what I've been working on, and how we can go on this journey together. So this would be the end of this devlog. I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys want to see for future devlogs? Do you want me to talk more about the overworld, behind the scene mechanics, story? Just tell me in the comments, and I will be listening to feedback. I want personal feedback. I want, like I said, to make this game the best it can be. I don't know when the next devlog will be. I am going to try to do this at least once a month, hopefully. If I can do it more, like once a week or like 2 times a month, 3 times a month, that would be cool. But if not, at least once a month is my gold standard, hopefully. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you guys again later. Kevin out. Bork.